Hiya guys, Nigel here, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Thanks for looking in. And today I've got another product review for you. And this is basically a set of tyres and undercarriage legs and gear doors for the Airfix 124 scale Hellcat. These products are made by a one-man band, a company called Aerocraft, and I'll put a link down in the description below to these items. Basically, these two items I would say are pretty much needed for the kit. Certainly the tyres are an absolute must. If there's one thing and only one piece of aftermarket you buy for your Airfix Hellcat, I would recommend changing the tyres, because it's the one feature of the kit that lets it down. Here you can see the Airfix tyre here, and you can see it's cut in like a crosshatch pattern. But what they've done is, rather than actually cutting grooves in the tread to depict tyres as they would have been, it's kind of overlaid. You can kind of see it's almost like you've got strips of tape and laid them over each other, making them very inaccurate, and they're also a little bit soft. Whereas if you look at this tread pattern here, you can see that this is more accurate in how it should be. The tread was actually moulded in or cut into the tyre, whatever. And also on these tyres you've got some side lettering there. It says Goodyears. So what you do is get rid of the S on the end if you want accuracy. Sorry about the state of my hands. I've been doing some resining and I spilt a lot of resin on my hands, and it's dried and looks like elephant skin. But yeah, if the one thing you do with your kit, the one upgrade you buy, I would thoroughly recommend getting these tyres. Now, Alistair's doing 3 sets of tyres. I'll put pictures up for you. You've got the basically the cruciform pattern, which I'm showing you now. Then you've got the straight tread pattern, and then you've got this one, the crosshatch pattern, which I've actually got here and reviewing for you. And all those, they all come out £8 a pair. So Alistair's based in the UK, so basically if you're in the UK, postage will be minimal. Rest of the world's going to be, I don't know, £2.5, £3, £4, £5, whatever. So there you go. That's the tyres. The Airfix wheels, you know, there's really nothing wrong with them other than they don't have a valve. But the actual wheels themselves, I think, are absolutely fine. What I'll do in a minute, I'll cut these out, the centres of these, and we'll see how well they fit. Okay, so for those of you that haven't used resin before, it's nothing to be scared of. A pair of side cutters, and I'm going to cut the, what you would call the sprue nib off of there. Throw that away. I'm not going to do any sanding. You can see we've got some slight bubbling there, but that's nothing to worry about. It's on the bottom of the tyre. Rub around the seam line, and any flash or anything comes off, so they're very nice indeed. And then we've got this centre element which needs to come out. Now it's a bit thick to just press out, so what I'm going to do is take my modelling knife and just score around the inside on an angle, and that's all I'm doing is score. I'm not trying to cut through, and then I can literally just break that away like so, and that's come out nice and clean. Now I've done the other one, and unfortunately the tyre is slightly larger than the wheel, the plastic part. So basically what I've done, I've put 2 layers of 6mm Tamiya masking tape around the wheel to pack it out and make it fit a bit better. And what it is, these, yeah, now this one's tighter than my last one was. So obviously what you need to do is use a spot of tape, and there you go, your wheels fits in there lovely. Like I say, this one would probably just need 1 layer of masking tape, not 2. And then all you've got to do then is come in with a drop of Mr. Servicer around the edge of there, and then your gap is gone. But you can agree that your tread pattern is so much better on this than it is on the standard kit part. And I think I'm going to have to buy another set from Alistair for the FAA one I've got. But they do look very, very nice indeed. Obviously don't sand that off until your kit's built up, because you may want to put a bit of an angle on there if the wheels sit at an angle. If they sit straight, then absolutely fine. And also when you are sanding this, make sure you either do it wet so there's no dust in the air, wear a mask, or do both, because you don't want to be breathing this stuff in. It's full of isocyanates and stuff, or cyanacrylates and whatever it is. So there we go, that's the tyres taken care of. So yeah, as I say, unfortunately they are slightly This one here you can see is bigger, and the wheel goes in. The wheel goes in a little deeper, but you know, it's nothing to mess with and play with that a bit and get it so that it fits in there lovely. It's better to have them too big than too small. If you look at my I can't remember what kit I did now. I did use some Brengan resin wheels, and they're the same. They came with resin wheels and separate tyres, and the tyres were about 0.32 small. So, you know, when you've got the same manufacturer supplying you the wheels and the tyres, you think they fit. When you've got different suppliers like Airfix and then this is Aeroscale, you expect, you know, a little intolerance. Moving on to these undercarriage. Now, these are the plastic undercarriage legs, and if you remember, I did a video on putting a stiff rod in them. That is not easy to do, and it's also quite risky because you could scrap your undercarriage. This set here, all of this you see here, comes out at £28, which in my opinion is a bargain, because what you're getting for that is you're not only getting a pair of brass undercarriage legs, which are 1,000,000 times better than your white metal undercarriage legs. I'm not going to mention any names, but we all know the company that makes all the white undercarriage legs, and as you know, you can just bend them. When you've got a heavy metal model like this, they are likely to just bend under weight, and it's the same with the plastic legs. Now I hear you all crying, well, Jen's model's okay, Jen's model's absolutely fine, that sits on its undercarriage legs fine. Yeah, Jen's model was built from a test shop, and the test shop plastic was much harder than the plastic used in the Airfix kit. This Airfix plastic is extremely soft and pliable, and I have actually had a couple of people, after I did this, I've had a couple of people who've built this kit and said they think the undercarriage is just about as strong as it needs to be, and they reckon with a knock, or if it's sat in the sun or whatever, it's probably going to let go. So I would recommend, you know, if not only the tyres, I would recommend this set as well. And it's not just because you're getting these brass undercarriage legs, it's also because of the additional detail. Now if you look at the Airfix door compared to the undercarriage door you get with the Aeroscale set, you can see these oversized brackets have been removed and accurate brackets have been added. You can see there's no detail down here. You can see there's that detail been added, and you can see we've got ejector pin marks in there, and we don't have them on there. So, you know, it's good all round really. It's a time over time improvement really. So thoroughly recommended, even just for the gear doors. And then when it comes to the gear legs, I'll try and show you close up. You can see on here the Airfix have moulded in the brake line. Okay, it goes up there and then it goes around here and over there. It's inaccurate, it's not correct. This is how it should look. And here we can see on the Aeroscale leg, we've got the brake line coming all the way down from the top with the clamps down the leg, underneath this bracket here that's supporting it, out, around and into the arm there, and then it's going to go down into the brake drum, or into the hub should I say. So yeah, far more accurate. You've also got integral oleos and this mounting here. Now this lug here is going to have to be just sanded off, but that won't be too difficult. It is quite a hard material. You will not be able to bend these legs. I will not bend them. They are absolutely solid. You've probably seen my reviews of other Alistair's legs he's done, and they are all very, very strong. We're also getting this trailing link, which again is going to have some clean up. This goes into the leg here. Sorry, that way up, isn't it? That goes into the leg there, and then that goes onto a lug in the fuselage itself, in the undercarriage bay itself. You probably won't even need to glue these in; they'll just wedge in there up into the main spar. So yeah, all lovely all round. We've also got a pin. Now, without me actually getting the kit out and having a look, I'm not sure what that pin's for. It's probably something to do with the tail. That's going to be for the tail wheel spindle. So that pin, probably have to drill it out. It's going to go through there. It's trying to go through, but that pin's going to push through. So you've also got a brass tail wheel as well. So he's gone to all the trouble of doing that one as well for us, which is a very nice touch. And then when you put them together, I think you'll agree when you actually see them, is that the right way around? I'm not sure which is the right way around here, but you can actually see that they do look a lot better than the plastic parts, you know, when you consider the detail you've got in there, which is far more accurate on those stiffeners and the mounting lugs when you compare that to the plastic parts there. So yeah, I would certainly consider these. This set is £28 for that's for the doors, the legs, the supports, the spindle and the tail wheel, which in my opinion, it's well worth it. You're looking at £36 for all of that, and you can get rid of all of this softly moulded incorrect plastic. Well, you need to keep the Airfix wheel, but there you go. Now you may find that when you get your tyres that you may find the wheel fits a lot better. As you all know, I've made the engine cores for the Airfix Hellcat, so you don't have to do all the sanding and trying to get everything round on that main engine core that goes through the middle of the cylinders. And as you know, I've made, I think, 4 different moulds now. They've all come from the same master, yet they're all different sizes. It all depends on how the mould sets. It all depends on how the resin cures when you actually make the part. Depends how quick you take it out of the mould. So, you know, I think it all even depends on the temperature of the room when the resin is actually drying. So, or curing, should I say. So it's better to go for slightly big than for slightly too small. Otherwise, nothing's going to fit together. It's like my engine core is slightly on the small side, rather than have you buying something to prevent you having to do any sanding and then having to sand it. So, and you can imagine trying to sand that out. It's tapered and it needs to be perfectly round. You know, it's I'd rather have it slightly large, pack it out with some tape and do that. So there we go, guys. So I'll put some links down below to this, to Alistair's website. He's got a lot of stuff on there: 72nd scale, 48 scale, 32nd scale, and now the 24th as well. If you're watching this today and you're going to Telford tomorrow, he is up there. I don't think I'll be bothering this year, but yeah, there we go. So as I say, £8 for those, £28 for those. Well worth the money. And you know, basically you put these undercarriage legs on your model, you can forget them. You're never going to worry about them snapping off. And as I say, you can just push them in. So if you are going to shows and stuff, you can remove your undercarriage for transportation and then just push it back in when you get to the show. So there you go. Oh, just one thing, just want to check, how do they fit in the wheels? Absolutely lovely, fit in there beautifully. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon with another review. Bye for now.